Hello, everyone. What we got going on today is a review for the 1.5 through 1.7 test. So I will do this video. After you watch this, let me know if you have any additional questions. And then you can take your test, which I will send you in a chat message. Take a picture of your answers and send it back to me. All right, so let's take a look at the review here. These first type of, now these will go in order on the review as kind of 1.5 through 1.7, so you can look it up in your notes and stuff, but in your test they could be all mixed up. So these first type, solving the equations, just kind of either by a guess and check or just think about. You may remember how to solve equations from a past class, but basically what they were doing in this lesson was just saying 10 plus what is 26. Even if you couldn't think of it offhand, you had to use your calculator. You could, test that out and say, was it 15? 10 plus 15? No, that's 25, and then find the right answer. So same thing here, 7 times what equals 77. Remember, 11 times a number gives you that number double when it's 1 through 9. So like 11 times 2 is 22. 11 times 4 is 44. So this would be 7 times 11. X would have to be 11. This one is a little tougher. Number 3, you may have to pull out the calculator for this one. You need to think what divided by 8 equals 27. Okay, so you could just start typing them in and hit 210 divided by 8. Nope, that's 26 point something, and then just keep, and so then you would say, well, it's not this, and then keep trying. Or if you remember some stuff from before, if you have to say something divided by 8 equals 27, if you do the reverse and take 27 times 8, that should give you the answer, and that is 216. Then again, check your answer. Take 216 divided by 8 in your calculator and see if it works. Okay. These will be the same type of problems here, but there's just no multiple choice. Okay. So when you do this, you could just try things. So like if you think the answer is 30, you take 30 minus 17, and oh no, that's not right at all. Okay, so you might need to keep kind of guessing, or if you remember, if it's subtraction, you could do the opposite and take 17 plus 27, and you get Q equals 44. And if you didn't know that for sure, then you just test it out. Type in 44 minus 17. Yes, that does equal 27. Okay. Here, this one's like one I talked about up above. When you have 5 times something to get 55, that's something, is going to be 11. So when you have the numbers 1 through 9 times 11, you get that 2 of those numbers. So 5 times 11 is 55. Here, 54 divided by something is 6, and there's no multiple choice here. So some of you are going to know this right away, and it won't take anything. Some of you may have to do some guess and check, but the answer here would be 9. 54 divided by 9 equals 6. Okay. Number 7 says William owned so many posters that he couldn't find room for all of them, so he picked out 36 of them to sell to his friends. After his friends had bought them, he still had 30 left. Okay. So write an equation to find how many posters William had to begin with, then solve solve the equation. Okay, so he sold 36 to his friends, and then he still had 30 left. So he had some posters. He got rid of 36 of them, and that means he had 30 left. Okay, so there's a couple with subtraction in here, and they even do this. They give you that none of these choices. So if I set this, if that's what I said he had some, he got rid of 36 to his friends, and then he had 30 left. So whatever he had minus 36 equaled 30, because he has 30 left. So that looks like this one. And then the only other thing we have to see is make sure this is correct. So is 66 minus 36 equal 30? Yes, it is. So that would be the answer. Okay. Number 8, multiple choice. Make sure there's, you got 2 different answers here. So now you could use the formulas that they gave you in the book. It was 2L plus 2W for perimeter. Area is length times width. Okay. You could also, you don't have to do this. You could just go around, and I'll show you both ways. So if you did, 2 times 6 plus 2 times 5, because those are length and width. So you get 12 plus 10. So that equals 22 for the perimeter. Now again, you could have just went 6 plus 5 plus 6 plus 5, and that would give you 22 also. Area, length times width. So we get 6 times 5. That's 30. So perimeter of 32, or sorry, perimeter of 22, area of 30. Okay, again, those formulas are in your note-taking guide, and they're right on here. And you can watch this video while you're taking the test. Be a very similar problem. So number 9 has the same directions: find perimeter and area. Okay, so just make sure you label this type of stuff. So here we will go 2 times 15 plus 2 times 9. Okay, this is for perimeter, so we get 30 plus 18. So perimeter ends up equaling 48. Now again, if I'm going kind of fast there, pause it, do the stuff in your calculator, make sure you're getting those numbers. Okay, area, so that was perimeter. Area equals length times width. So it doesn't really matter which one you put where, because it's just multiplication. So 15 times 9. You can grab your calculator. There's nothing saying you can't grab your calculator. So 15 times 9 is 135. And now, one thing I should be doing here, over here, I should have wrote, these are centimeters. And here I should write centimeters squared. Okay, so these, on this type of problem on your test, there should be 2 answers. Okay, and try to, and I'm telling you right now, label them. Okay, label them correctly. It could be worth like half a point or something like that. Okay, 10 has the same, it's under the same directions of find the perimeter and area. Now there's no picture. Okay, but you still do the same process. So perimeter, 2 times 250 plus 2 times 30. So 2 times 250 is 500 plus 2 times 30 is 60. Add them together, 560 feet. So that's the perimeter. Area is generally easier, length times width, 250 times 30. Okay, And some of you might be able to do that without the calculator. Otherwise, type in your calculator. Even if you do it without, double check with the calculator since it's a test. And 7,500 feet squared is the area. Also make sure I know what one's area, which one's perimeter. Okay. All right, so next problem here. Now again, you have this in your notes, but also write it on here. We have 3 different formulas. If we need to find distance, and they gave us a rate and time, we take rate times time equals distance. If we want to find rate, and they gave us distance and time, rate equals distance divided by time. And if we need to find time, then they had to give us a distance and a rate, and we would do distance divided by rate. Okay, so I'm not expecting you to memorize these right now or anything. This is how the test on how you can use formulas, not that you memorize them. Okay, so those are the 3 different formulas that you could use here. So number 11, you're missing the rate. Okay, so I'm going to do it over here. Okay, so if I'm missing the rate, I'm going to use that middle formula. The distance is 336. The time is 7. So then you take your calculator, 336 divided by 7 equals 48. And then we got to look for the units. The distance was in miles, time was in hours, so it is miles per hour, like that. So our answer is right there. Okay. Number 12, you're looking for a distance. So we're going to use the first one. Distance equals rate times time. The rate is 0.5. The time is 12 seconds. Okay, so we're going to go 0.5 times 12, and that just means half times 12, so it's 6. Now, part of this point will be labeling it correctly. So if you got 6, you'd be good. So distance, we have to have a label that means distance. So if the rate is in feet per second, the distance part of that is feet. So the distance here is 6 feet. Okay, so again, make sure you are labeling on those type of problems. Okay, we still have one more of these. So we are in number 13. We're looking for time. So we go up here. Time equals distance divided by rate. So I'll rewrite that here just so it's on the same. Okay. Equals time divided by rate. Oops, that's not right. We're looking for time, and that's distance divided by rate. Okay, I copied that down wrong. So we fill in that in this problem. Distance is 132 miles. Rate is 12. So again, you take your calculator, take 132 divided by 12, and that equals 11. Now, because it's multiple choice, they all have the label on there anyways, but because the rate was in miles per minute, we're dealing with minutes here, so the answer is 11 minutes. Okay. 14, use this formula, 9/5 C plus 32. That's F equals 9/5 C plus 32. So this is how you can go back and forth between a Fahrenheit temperature and a Celsius temperature. So they gave us Celsius, we got to find Fahrenheit. So we have 9/5 times C, which is 52, plus 32. So what you can do here, we haven't really done a problem like this yet. You can change that 9/5 to a decimal. Okay, if you take 9 divided by 5, that's 1.8. Then times 52, and then plus 32. Okay, so now I take the 1.8 times 52. And again, the 52 came because they told us the Celsius temperature was 52. So when I multiply those, I get 93.6. I add the 32, and I get 125.6, and that's degrees Fahrenheit, and that's over here for letter A. Okay. 15 says Frank wants to put up a fence around his rectangular garden. The garden measures 10 by 20 feet. How much fencing material does he need? So you don't have to do a picture, but for some people it might help. It's going to be 10 by 28. Now the biggest thing you need to do here is decide, okay, what am I needing? It says how much fencing material does he need? Fence goes around rectangle. So that is perimeter. So again, you could do it two different ways. You could just go 10 plus 28 plus 10 plus 28, or you could do 2 times each of them and then add them together. So 2 times 10 is 20. 2 times 28 is 56. And then you add them together and you get 76 feet. Okay, so the big thing there is to know that it's going around. Okay, 16 is just a little different. It says John is making a square tablecloth. Each side is 107 inches in length. What is the area of the tablecloth? So it's a square. Each side is 107. Now, they even tell you here that you're looking for area. If you didn't know that, you're still dealing with a tablecloth which covers the square, and that when you're covering an area, that stands for area. Okay, so there's two ways you could do this one. They did tell you when a square, you could go side squared, or it's still, a square is, the formula is still the same as a rectangle. It's still length times width, just that both are the same right now. So your area could either be 107 squared, or that means 107 times 107. Either way, you times 107 times 107, and you're going to get 11,449 inches squared. Again, I'm telling you and reminding you right on this video that you can watch while you're taking the test. Make sure you do inches squared. Okay. All right, getting almost done here. 17. Lee is planning a banquet. She can afford to spend $87 for food, $39 for gifts, $14.50 for decorations. She plans on selling banquet tickets for $16 per guest. What is the minimum number of people she can invite and still make a profit? Okay, so what we need to figure out is how much she's spending, first of all. Now, there might be formula ways of doing this and stuff, but let's just do the problem and figure it out. Okay, so it's going to cost her 87 plus 39 plus 1450. So you take your calculator, 87 plus 39 plus 1450. And I typed it in my calculator wrong, so I got to redo it. 87 plus 39 plus 14.5, 1450. And that equals $140.50. Okay, so that's how much it cost her. Okay, so she is selling them for $16. So we have 16 times something, and we need that to be, actually I should go, let me see if I can use this new pen and let me try this here. Finally using a new pen to do this stuff, so we'll see how it works. I don't want it equal. I want that to be bigger than, because she wants a profit, $140.50. So now if you've done some algebra, you might know exactly what to do right away. Okay. The other way you could do this one is kind of look at the choices and use an easy number first. So let's say 10. If she sold 10 tickets, okay, 10 times 16 would be 160. She'd for sure make a profit, but they're asking what's the minimum number of people. So let's try 9. 9 times 16. That equals 144. So she's still making a profit. Whoops. Okay, so she's still making a profit there. Now, if she sold one less and only sold 8, you could probably guess, because it's $16 less, it's going to be under that 140. But if you didn't know that, you take 8 times 16, and that's going to be 128. So she's not making a profit at 8, which means she's for sure not making a profit at 7. She's making a profit at 10, but she's also making a profit at 9, and they want the minimum number. So if she sells 9 tickets, she can for sure make a little bit of a profit. Okay. Looks like we have 4 pounds left. Okay. 18, they fly round trip between Mexico City and Chicago at least 10 times a year. The distance between the two cities is 1,682. Okay, a frequent flyer program, a person flies 55,000 miles within 1 year, receives a free ticket to fly around the world. Find the total distance that Megan will fly in 1 year and determine if she will get the free ticket. So, one thing, the distance between the two cities is 1,682. She does the round trip at least 10 times. So first of all, we want to go this times 2, because a round trip means you fly there and then you fly back. Okay, and it's 1,682 one way, so times 2, 1,682 times 2 equals 3,364 miles in one trip. Okay, so that's one round trip. Okay, she's going to do at least 10 of those. Okay, so she's going to go 10 times. Okay, and so that'll give her 33,640 miles. Okay, which there's only one choice that has that listed, and no she does not get to the 55,000. So she will not get the free ticket around the world. Number 19, Jane put up colored banners on a rope to use at a school carnival booth. She used 1 red banner and then 3 yellow banners, then 4 blue banners, and finally 1 green banner. She continues this pattern of banners on the rope. What color will the 20th banner be? Okay, so let's look here. So she uses 1 red, and then yellow, 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 and then blue, 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 and then a green. So let's see where this takes us. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So that's at 9. So this series will end with a green at, so that's at 9, 18. So this will be repeated again, the red, yellow, yellow, blue, 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 and then a green. Okay, now if she repeats this again, the 19th will be a red, and then she's going to have 3 yellows, and that's where the 20th one will be. So it'll be a yellow. Okay, so that's not even superly math. It's just kind of looking at a pattern and figuring that out. Okay. Number 20, his family had a rummage sale. Marvin sold soda pop. When only 1/4 of the soda pop was left, he put 22 more cans in the cooler. After that, Marvin sold 30 cans. At the end of the day, 3 cans of pop were left. How many cans were in the cooler at the beginning of the sale? So what you want to do, there's a few different ways of doing this one. Okay. First thing you can kind of do is just, you can eliminate a couple of these just by saying, if he sold 30 cans, well, there's no way that he only had 11 or 6 cans in the cooler to begin with. Okay, that wouldn't make sense. Okay, so then we can kind of look at, okay, we got 44, 74. Okay, so if he started, just thinking what the best way to explain this is for you. If he sold 30 cans and 3 cans were left, that was 33 cans right there. Okay, and then at some point he put 22 more cans in the cooler. Okay, there's a way with algebra to write this out, but let's look at our choices and just kind of figure this out. If we started with 44, okay, when only 1/4 of the soda pop was left, so 1/4, if you broke 44 into 4 spots, that means 11 cans were left. Then he put 22 more cans in there. Oops, I don't know why I'm using that. Then he put 22 more cans in there. Oh. After that, so that gives you 33. And it says after that, he sold 30 cans and 3 were left. So this was if he started with 44. And that does actually equal what we're looking for. So the answer is 44. Okay. And there's a couple other ways of doing that with algebra and stuff, but we really haven't looked at there. So this is just kind of going with the problem solving plan and trying to figure that out that way. So if you know the algebra way of doing that, go ahead. Otherwise, that's a little further ahead of what we are right now. So last one, Hank went to the mall with his friends. He bought a pair of sunglasses for $17.25, a pair of shoes for 3 times that amount, and a CD for $11.75. He had $11 left when he had $11 left from the money he took to the mall. How much money did he take to the mall? Okay, so let's look at, he had some money. Subtracted $17.25. And we also subtracted for a pair of shoes that were 3 times that amount. And then he also bought that. And after all that, he had $11 left. So let's start simplifying some of this stuff. So let's take the 3 times $17.25. That's $51.75. So let's figure out how much he subtracted in all. So it might sound a little weird, but I'm going to say let's add these 3 things together to figure out how much total he spent, and that's how much we're subtracting. So we're actually simplifying this by subtracting 3 things, but in the easier way in real life, you kind of think of, let's add everything I'm spending and then subtract it. So if we have $17.25 and $17.25 and $51.75 and $11.75, that equals $80.75. And after he spent that much, he had $11 left. So we need 11 more dollars than $80.75. So you add, basically you will add $11 to that. And he went to the mall with $91.75. Now, if you really needed to, if you didn't know if you did that right, you go back here and you just go to the top and say, type in 91.75 minus 17.25 minus 51.75 minus 11.75, and it should equal 11. Okay, so that was kind of a lot, 21 problems. Remember, you can pause things, go over things. If any of these don't make sense, you can either write me or call me, and I can go over them more. Either I can make a separate video or just go over it on a chat with you, whatever we need. And then you will go and take your test. For your respect and effort points for today, send me a message saying you watch this video, and then that'll give you some respect and effort points for the day, and then take that test. All right, if you have any questions, let me know.